Guys, I don't know what to tell you on this one. Your favorite coach been fighting with this subject matter for a minute now. I've had a couple of conversations with some people that, I think highly of that's in the journalist business. And they flat out told me, say, look, coach, if it's on your heart, you feel, what you got to say, just say it. No need dancing around with it. Just go ahead, put it out there, let it be what it's going to be. Because oftentimes people get upset, get mad with you based on things you say, whether they like them or not. It's a hit and miss type thing here. Because looking at these two topics I'm gonna touch on right quick, it left me a little shaken because I'm just trying to figure like, okay, where's everybody really going with this? And we all got opinions. We all feel a particular way when it comes to different things, and rightfully so. I mean, no one should ever sit back and feel like they can't, get off their chest what they think or feel. Sometimes things that they say people may not like, for whatever reason, because they might have a relationship with a person that many of us that we don't understand. We don't understand the type of relationship that they may have with that person, or they may feel that they're not qualified to speak about something. And sometimes we don't sit down and really pay close attention to the fact that people are actually getting out here and getting the information. The information is everywhere. And when you get that information and you begin to look into things, you try to figure out exactly what's going on. You're like, dang, I didn't really think like it was going to come about like this. And I'm thinking about Mr. Carron Phillips over at Morehouse College and Miss Tiffani Dawn-Sykes over at FAMU, the AD/Vice President, in which both of these folks, they've had, when I say have had a rough time, Jesus, woo, this thing's serious. You already, everyone understand. Everyone knows the backstory as far as with FAMU. They lost their head football coach. Willie Simmons left and went to Duke. I don't need to rehash that. Carron Phillips is a journalist over at Deadspin, and he put an article together talking about the former Grambling State head football coach Hue Jackson possibly becoming the new head football coach over at Morehouse College. And boy, when I tell you that didn't sit well with that man, oh my God. And there was a lot of folks, there was a lot of outrage behind what Mr. Phillips had to say, as well as a lot of outrage behind head coach Willie Simmons moving on and going to Duke. But the craziest thing is, there's so much more to these stories that we didn't really look at. And I'm sitting here looking at a few things that's a little disturbing. And I'm going to touch on them. I know some folks going to be mad with Coach. So I'm going to tell you right now, watch this at your own risk. Because I'm going to say right now, Coach love you. But just like I tell these athletes out here about these daggone stars when they trying to get recruited, because all of this is going on right before signing day happens. And I'm just sitting here looking like, what in the heck is going to go down with these schools, man? Is it going to be a problem? Are they going to be able to, get through and do everything that they need to do as far as getting the athletes into their programs to make sure the trajectory as far as where they're looking to take the program this season continue to keep going up, or is it going to tank? Well, guys, Coach going to go ahead and get into another episode of Blow the Whistle with your host, Coach Walker. We're going to get into it right now. I can't, boy, I'm tongue twisted. I can't get into it. I'm trying to get myself into this because I'm like, man, Jesus Christ. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Mr. Carron Phillips put the article out with Deadspin as far as, and he's a writer over there talking about how he didn't want Hue Jackson to become the new head football coach over at Morehouse College. And I've spoken to several different people about this. Not like I read the article several times, and I watched the interview that he did a couple of times as well, just to get some feedback as far as where he's coming from with this. And I got to be honest with you, looking at everything that's going on, like I said, I was in the AUC with Morehouse. Morris Brown was in the AUC with Morehouse. So I'm looking at some things from those AUC eyes. I got them AUC glasses on right now. And to be totally honest with you, I had to pause for a second to say, okay, because I wanted to look at this two different ways. The first way I wanted to look at it was without the glasses on to get an understanding of, like, dang, bro, you come with this, like, right now, there's so many different things that's on the table as far as possibly Morehouse might be making a move to go to the MEAC, which would be great, by the way. But, again, understanding that, the MEAC is looking to get a footprint in the city of Atlanta, in the state of Georgia, as well as I'm sure the SWAC is probably going to be looking to get a footprint here as well, which it only makes sense. And I understand when people come here for the Celebration Bowl or the MEAC SWAC Challenge, there's a lot of festive things that's going on. So everyone understands, it's popping in Atlanta. You want to come to Atlanta and have your good time. I got that. Because trust me, when everybody was in the AUC together, Morehouse, Morris Brown, Clark, and Spelman, we was all having a good time. And each campus had a different type of culture that went on those campuses. And I'm sure it's like that with a lot of the HBCUs around the country. The culture is just different. I mean, it's just different. You got different vibe as far as people come from different places coming into somewhere new, or you got some people that's from the area that decide they want to attend that HBCU and, make it do what it do. Well, now that I put the glasses on now, I said, okay, I get it. It would be something good for the college to bolster up and move things forward. But it also took me back to the fact that the previous coach that was there, I believe his name was Wilshire, in which he made the comment about not having the facilities and things of that nature to put things in place for the football program to move forward. At Morehouse College record, I'm going to say from 2023 back, 1-9, 22, 1-9, 21, 4-6, 19, 4-6, 18, 73, 17, 4-6, 16, 3-7, 15, 5-5, 14, 6-4, 13, 2-8, 12, 3-7, 11, 11 there, 8-2, 2010, 8-3, 2009, 73, 2008, 6-4. Now, as you can see, they have good years and then they have below par years. And it leaves you scratching your head trying to figure out what's going on. And I believe during those times they had talent that actually came to the college that was able to get out there, compete on the field while still getting their books in school. Now, don't get it twisted. Their curriculum over there is rigorous. I took classes over there while I was at Morris Brown. And before y'all get something, say, oh, coach, you trying to big them up, trying to get them a crutch to stand on. Pause and break something down to you. In the AUC Center, when you attend Morehouse, Spelman, Clark, or Morris Brown, they have what's called cross-registration. You can take classes at either one of those institutions if by chance your college or university within the AUC Center does not offer that class, or the time slots that they offer the class, it's not available for you to take the class, and you can take it over here for it to fit in your schedule. You just got to cross-register to do it. No extra money, none of that. You can do it without it being a problem. All right? Now we got that out the way. So now I'm taking the glasses back off again. And I'm thinking about this article here, and I know, like I stated before, Hue Jackson is friends with a lot of folks out here, in the community, those that he touched as far as while he was over at Grambling State University, and those that he's touched as far as athletes that he may know, along the way, so on and so forth. And I look at what all went down with everything, right? There's a lot of you out there still feel that Hue Jackson should have been given the opportunity, given that third year for him to continue what he started over there at Grambling State University. Honestly, if they'd have gave him the third year, they would have been on the hook for the fourth. I could be wrong. If I am, please leave a comment below and let me know. Now, with all of that being said, when Mr. Phillips said Morehouse doesn't play football, but they play academics, I just showed you their records over the past 13 years. I mean, they get out there on the field and they play sports. Don't get it twisted. Basketball, they do get down in basketball. They got a pretty daggone good basketball team. But football, they've done pretty well with that here and there, different years. But again, it's not something that the college pours a lot of money into for it to move forward. Now, saying all of that, I'm saying, listen, them possibly going to the MEAC could be a good thing. It could be a good thing. But the question that I have is, Morehouse, are you guys playing like you want to play sports? Or are you really ready to pour money into sports for you to go compete on a D1 level? Because you get over there and you guys are not really getting out there recruiting the athletes that you need to recruit for you to be competitive, it's going to look bad. And understanding that the requirements for you to become a Morehouse College student, yes, they're up there, just like a lot of the other colleges is up there as well. I mean, heck, you got Notre Dame, who they're able to get athletes to come into their school with them having, a rigorous course schedule, as well as making sure that GPA is up there for them, for the athletes to come in there and compete. Same thing with Georgia Tech. Same thing with Harvard. Same thing with a lot of other schools. But I'm saying all of that to say, while I understand many of you are upset with the young man as far as the article that he wrote, he didn't really tell no lies in that. Yeah, I get it. It could disrupt business. I got that part. Oh, I got that part completely. I mean, we've seen a lot of that going on over the past couple of years. I mean, folks are speaking how they feel from their heart and just saying, hey, look, this is how I feel. They're not backing off what they're saying. So there's no way in the world we can expect this man to back off something he feels he went to the university. Excuse me, not to the university, but to the college. I'm just saying, he went to the college. Who would know better than him? That's all I'm saying. Now, when it comes to Hue Jackson, I think that would be a good hire for him to come to the college and get things going. But like always, when the rumblers get to going, people start decide they want to go a different direction. Kind of like the situation I'm going to get on to now. Vice President / AD, Ms. Sykes over at FAMU. She wanted to bring in Fort Valley's head coach Gibbs to become the new head football coach over at FAMU. Many people were online saying that they didn't want him. Bring somebody else. We don't want him. You need to stay there. I mean, it was some nasty messages out there at that man. And for the life of me, I'm sitting there saying this man is 16-5. He's been in the mix to possibly, play for the SIAC championship 2 years back to back. Came up a game short. And I understand how everybody feels. I get it. I mean, he got an athlete that's playing in the playoffs over at Green Bay. Emmanuel Wilson, running back. So I'm sitting here saying, like, okay, he's able to come in and do things that going to put the program in place. He's going to be able to get in here to recruit. And the reason why I felt he was a good pickup for the simple fact that with everything that's been going on with FAMU, we're going to go back. It's 2024. We're going to go back to 2022, where you had the issue with the 29 athletes not being eligible to play in that first game against North Carolina, UNC, University of North Carolina. And the crazy thing was that became a big spectacle as far as what was going on. But we never looked at the fact that the athletic director / vice president left the program. And was it March of 2022? And they had nobody in place until Ms. Sykes was hired in October. She was hired in October of 2022. She didn't become active until January 4th, 2023. Now, I'm sitting here saying to myself, like, wait a minute. If we got all this time here, she's just not becoming active in January. God, dog, I'm like, everything that we're complaining right now, we should know, all of this stuff should be somewhat in place. Or she should have some type of plan set up to where FAMU ain't got to worry about this type of stuff going on again. Well, of course, you had to come in there and start putting people in place because the athletic department was undermanned. Another thing that we didn't talk about is the fact that there was an audit that was done December 2023, where they wanted to find out how did these 29 athletes fall in between the cracks as far as everything that was going on. And because you didn't have the people in place to make sure that these athletes that was coming into FAMU was going to be ready, their paperwork was going to be right, them getting in the classes and everything was set up properly for them to, seamlessly get into school, get everything taken care of, the credits is right, all of that type of stuff. You had to find out what happened. Because remember now, the head coach going to get named. If this fails, who does it fall on? It's going to fall on her. It don't matter what's going on. It's going to be put back in her lap. It's going to be put back in her lap. Cozy is coming in. They say Cozy's supposed to be the next head football coach. And I remember, I think one of the last few episodes I did on Blow the Whistle, I think Coach stated that list was going to get leaked. But it ain't funny, I'm just saying. But all I'm saying to you guys is, we're sitting here looking at everything that's going on as far as what this lady is doing. And we say she ain't qualified. You ain't qualified. You ain't qualified. You need to go. Pack your and get out of here. That's what everybody wants to happen. But the funny thing is, if that lady was to leave, all of it would crumble. You know why? Because she put the plan in place. The APR issue, HBCU game, they spoke on it last year. When you got athletes that's coming in that grade, not gonna say grades ain't up to par, but just all of their paperwork and stuff, we're gonna go there with the paperwork and everything is not up to par. It's not in place to find out exactly what's going on. You got questions that's being raised. You don't have people that's in place that needs to help run this program. And I'm sitting there and looking like, wait a minute. Then when they do the audit and they show everything that's going on, there was a plan that was put in place for when FAMU had issues before. But that plan wasn't followed. So now I ask myself the question, okay, does that fall on her too? Is that in her lap as well? Because, yeah, we can sit and say that, she's at fault because Coach Simmons left, or the budget ain't right, or, she come to work late, or she crossed the street at the wrong time. I'm just like, guys, let's look at the full picture. And I get it. I understand, because a lot of times we get so enamored with once somebody don't like somebody, and they get somebody else to go along with the fact that they don't like them too. Oh, they're going to get a collusion of folks say, hey, man, I don't like Coach Walker, man. That sucker there, boy, he get on my daggone nerves, boy. Oh, doing all that crazy talking. Man, man, he need to get up out of here with all that. And I'm sitting there looking like, whoa. Have I done it before? Absolutely I have. I wouldn't sit here and lie to you and say I haven't. But for me to do something like that, somebody had to have done something to me. But I say all of that to say, and I'm being candid and honest with you, but I'm saying all of that to say to you, I'm looking at what's happening now. And this 2022 APR plan was for at-risk students, at-risk student athletes that required study hall, weekly check-ins with academic advisors, and none of that was followed because the grades was jacked up. Remember, COVID hit, right? We're going to say COVID hit in 2020. And you had folks supposed to be going to class. Everything's supposed to be remote. Not to go to class. Everything's supposed to be remote. And business wasn't being taken care of like it was supposed to. So now I'm hoping that Coach Cozy coming in here, he's able to get everything in place and we're good to go. But the funny thing is, when I look back at Coach, I think about Coach Gibbs. So many folks was upset, mad about Coach Gibbs not, he don't need to be here. He's a D2 coach. He came over here and started a fight, when they, North Carolina A&T and FAMU about to play each other. Guys, let me break something down to you. How many times have we sat and watched teams go at one another before a game? Sometimes it ain't a coach that's sparking that off. That's just the athletes doing all that chirping and talking. And you got to remember too, social media was really starting to pick up back then when they played. So don't think they wasn't online talking a little bit of trash, whatever have you, that we don't know nothing about. I'm just giving instances as far as certain things that we don't see that could have very well taken place. Now, like I said before, the formal audit was done, and it came up with the 29 players. Now, you would think, coming into a job, you've already heard about the 29 players that had issues, right? The list of other candidates that was considered for the job. Why didn't they take the job? Because I'm sure the job was probably offered to them before she came and said, I'll take it. Or better yet, president of the university sat there and said himself, we got a compliance problem. I need somebody that can come in here and get compliance in order. I need all of these. I need the books and everything up in this piece. I need everything. I need every I and T dotted and crossed because this stuff about to get real nasty and ugly. And if you haven't paid close attention to them, say it again. June of 2023, AD Vice President Sykes put the document out there. She rolled out a plan as far as what was going to take place. Now, as far as making sure that the university is up to par when it comes to APR. Because if I'm not mistaken, all of the other programs wasn't having any issues. The only one having the issue was football. I love football like everybody else do. And before folks get mad and want to turn your nose up, I can't believe you, Coach, I can't believe you. I'm going to tell you a story about me just to help you out. Because I don't, like I said, when I talk to my daughter, I always tell her, I said, baby girl, you know what? There's things that dad did in his lifetime of his that he has to sit you down and tell you the truth, especially when it comes to dealing with these young women. But no, I'm not about to tell you that story because y'all ain't about to get me in no daggone trouble. Hey, I had to put up a Patreon for some stuff like that to really give you them type of nuts and bolts. Screw that. We ain't getting all that. But what I'm trying to tell y'all is, when I came into college, because of the accolades that I had in high school, I thought I was smelling myself. I thought, I was like, I'm that guy. I'm doing my thing. And the coaches kept warning my behind. They kept warning me. My running back that my running back in high school, he went to Northwestern University. My other running back, he came out with me, he went to Eastern Michigan University. I was supposed to go to Eastern Michigan University. It didn't happen like that. Pop said, nope, boy, you getting up out of here. You got to go somewhere else. You not staying in this city with this girl. You want to get your tail up out of here. You going down south. Cool. Sat down, talked with the coach. Coach said, he's going to take care of me. But the problem was, I couldn't get on the field my freshman year. I couldn't even practice. Y'all know why I couldn't practice. I didn't have no freaking grades. I had the grades. I had a 2.1, 2.2, graduated from high school. But I didn't pass the daggone ACT exam. I was like a point short here, a point short there. I took the daggone thing like 3-4 times. They don't let you do like how they do now. They can stack the daggone grades and they stack the daggone the course load for you to freaking pass the damn test. Nah, they didn't make it easy for you to get into school with, taking the daggone exam. I didn't have that luxury. I blame me for that. Why? Because I didn't take care of business. I didn't understand that going to college was a business until after I got into college. When everybody kept telling me, hey, bro, you need to get it together. You start ramping this thing up, boy, get it together. Man, it was so crazy. My goddaddy was a senior VP at Ford Motor Company. He said, son, I tell you what. I'll buy you whatever car you want off the lot. You got to bring me a 3.0. And I'm sitting there, boy, I'm walking around school. And see, this how I knew right there. And I was like, boy, I hate he told me that. Because while walking around school, I'm bragging, boy. I'm like, I'm about to get I wanted a 5.0 Mustang. He said, I got your insurance too, because I know your mama going to be mad because you tell me the car you want to get, and it's that Mustang, I got to pay for the insurance too. So I was like, God damn, I want me a Mustang. He said, okay, bring me a 3.0. Boy, I worked my tail off that daggone season. I wasn't talking to them girls like I normally was. I wasn't doing none of that. That whole semester, I sat my tail down, boy, and started getting my work together. That helped me bring my GPA back up, but guess what? I didn't get the car either. I got a 2.8. I got a 2.8. I got a 2.8 one semester. This fall semester, I got a 2.8. And in the spring semester, I got a 2.95. And I kept trying to round it up. He's like, no, we ain't rounding up nothing. He said, I need a 3.0, Jack. No Mustang. Still ain't got no freaking Mustang. Any Mustang I'm getting, I'm paying for it now. But I say all of that to say this. I went ahead, got my behind out of high school, did what I needed to do. But I couldn't play my freshman year. So I got the preferred walk-on. Went out there, handled my business springtime, showed them I can play ball on the college level. Let them know what time it was. Then when it came down to get that money wasn't there. But see, now we dealing with big money because you got the university that's affected. What you mean, Coach? How the university affected? University affected because if FAMU don't make sure all of this stuff is in play for them to do what they need to do, They're going to pay penalties and fines for all of this crazy stuff. Yes, head coach left out of there this year with the APR, right? But what's the APR going to be for 2024? If I'm correct on that. Got to make sure this stuff is in order, man. So this is why I'm saying to you, if this stuff is not right, it's going to be a lot of chaos that's going to go on. And my question to you is, who's going to get blamed for it? Everybody going to want to put it back in the AD's lap, the AD/Vice President lap, Miss Sykes. That ain't on her. That's not on her. And I say that because of the fact that if you're coming into a job and you don't know exactly what you know what you're getting yourself into because she did the audit. Because there's no way in the world, I can't use that phrase. Why I use a crazy phrase and stuff. It's just like I can't use. There's no way in the world you can drop this on her and say it's her fault when she's coming in the door trying to clean up what's been jacked up. I mean, let's be real, guys. Like I stated, the athletic department was in shambles. It was in shambles. And I mean, people should be, she had to go in and hire folks to come in and take over what was happening. Even the situation with the budget. The budget been out of whack budget been out of whack for a minute. And we listen to her talk about, we only got $200,000 for a candidate. Y'all think she playing? She ain't playing. The lady's not playing. I mean, look, I know I might have touched the nerve with all of this, but I'm just being honest with you. Because just like many of you are upset with Mr. Phillips as far as the things that he had to say when it came to that Deadspin article, talking about, hey, we don't invest in sports like that. We invest into academics. Wait a minute, guys. How many of y'all that got on social media and blasted your school, somebody else's school, or the school or another school? And I mean, it didn't feel no type of way about it. So because this man went to the college and he's speaking his truth as far as what's going on, what does that mean? What does that mean for an alumni like himself who stated, hey, I cut my check to get up and say, hey, this is not what I want to see here at my college. Same way everybody else get out here and talk, so, hey, this ain't what I want to see at my university. It was a big enough uproar that you held up another coach from getting hired, and the chaos that was created around him being given the daggone job, that's crazy. And the reason why I see, and I didn't finish my statement on that. I do apologize. I got something in my eye. But the reason why I feel that she went after him is because he's over at that D2 university building a program in which they don't have all of the finances, nor do they have the scholarships to offer athletes to come be a part of their program. He's still getting them in there for them to come in and compete in the manner in which they're competing. So give her a damn round of applause for that. You may not understand that, but I'm like, come on, guys. And they're like, Coach, why are you talking? Why you feel that way? Listen, let me break something down to y'all. And I had a guy throw at me about youth football program. This ain't youth football, Coach. Does dollars make sense? Ask the question. Does dollars make sense? If you got to keep track of the money that's coming in and going out, if you got to keep track of the books as far as everything that's coming in, there's no difference in what's going on. It's just levels to it. You can say I'm at the entry level. That's fine with me. I ran a league, 10 teams that had 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. In a couple of years, we had 14 youth. So that's 8 teams per program. You're talking about 80 teams you got to deal with. 80 teams you got to certify registration, making sure that all of their documents and everything is in place for them to come in and be able to play without there being any setback, any liabilities on the league making sure that they got insurance, proper insurance for all of those athletes to play on them teams that's in the league. So if anybody get hurt, it don't fall back on you. That's not an easy task to deal with. And then you got to take them books, make sure you scan them and give them back a copy of their book so that they know exactly what's going on. Everything's been checked off. So if anybody got any questions, say, hey, look, I got it right here. Hey, get it from the office. Get it from the conference office. Get it from the league office. And I'm getting them phone calls 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Hey, coach, man, I lost a player on my team. I ain't got his document. Can you give me a copy of the document? I need you to come to the park in the morning. Bruh, really? But guess what? You got to go. Now, I'm not saying this ain't about me, but what I'm saying this is about the fact that looking at everything that takes place, looking at everything that's going on. And this is my mindset of looking at this. And this is why, I'm sitting here, I'm just talking to you guys as far as everything that's going on, because it just, I felt bad for Miss Sykes as far as like everything that took place. This ain't about clicks and views. Like I stated before, I stated to you guys early on, this was something that I sat down with someone that I consider a confidant as far as getting an understanding of how this space really works. Because I want to make sure when I give you content information, it's spot on. It's not no bull jive. I'm not here to cut nobody down at the ankles and make them look bad or whatever have you. Now, if you F up, and I use the F word, if you screw up, we're going to have a conversation, because enough is enough with the bull jive. And I think I done gave enough passes in the past for people to just skate on through and we cool with it. Now it's time to start holding folks' feet a little bit closer to the fire. But in this instance, I couldn't do that to AD Sykes, or could I do that to Mr. Phillips, because I'm looking at it, different type of scenarios. You get what I'm saying? Be it that, I'm putting myself in different situations. Each situation, get the understanding of what's going on, if you can understand where I'm coming from. But guys, like I said, this is what's ironic is the fact that she had AD Sykes, Vice President / AD Sykes, had the mental thought to say, bring somebody in here to have them look at this, to see what's going on before I really step into this, and I know which direction I need to go so that I can make this better. And that's what she's doing. Now, transparency and all that other kind of stuff, everybody wants to see happen. Yes, things could be a little bit better. Communication is always key. I am a communication type of guy. But you got to keep in mind, too, how can you communicate with folks if you say something to somebody that they don't like, it ends up out there on the street for everybody to know before it's even told to everyone for them to know about it. I mean, that's kind of like, you sitting at home with your wife or your husband, and you talk about, one of their friends or something like that. And, or better yet, you talk about their mama or talk about their brother or sister, something like that. The information is back out on the street before you even get the last word out your mouth. Because somebody else was sitting there listening to the conversation that didn't need to be listening, and it's just put out there. Or something was said or wasn't understood when it was being discussed, and it's out the door. Y'all know I got a crazy way of thinking about things. I do. I can't lie to y'all about that. I do. Coach is a little, gone sometimes, but I try to do my best with it. But like I said, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this. I know this kind of threw you guys through a loop like that. Coach, really? I just had to get this off my chest because it's been something that's been lingering for a while, and I don't know if I'm gonna drop this one or not. If I do, y'all got it. I just finally said, hey, here you go. But guys, Coach gonna go ahead and get up on out this thing. But until next time, be the one and lead.